Greetings, I am Martha Washington. I was born on June 2nd, 1731 at Mount Vernon, Virginia. I am the oldest of 8 children. My parents are John and Frances. Sadly, when I was aged to go to school, girls were not allowed to attend. Unlike other girls, I was blessed to have 2 parents who believed that young ladies should be educated, and as a result, I learned how to read and write. I still learned about religion, music, and how to dance. When I was 17, I fell in love with a talented planter and politician at church, Daniel Park Custis. Even though Daniel was more than 20 years older than me, we got married on May 15th, 1750, and before I knew it, we had 4 wonderful children together. Sadly, we lost 2 of our darling children to illness. After 7 happy years together, I was heartbroken when my dear Daniel passed. My sadness was lifted when I met a sweet and loving young man named George. When George said he wanted to raise my children as his own, I was very happy. I married the love of my life at my home on January 6, 1759. Those were the happiest years of my life, until the Revolutionary War came along. My George was soon voted commander for the Continental Army. It was terrifying not being able to know of George's safety in battle. I tried my best to donate as much money as I could. I ended up donating over $20,000 for uniforms and weapons to support the Continental Army and my husband. I visited my husband every so often. I didn't care that there was risk of disease as long as I was with my husband, supporting him every step of the way. When I wasn't with George at the camp, I was organizing all of the meals for the officers and keeping care of our estate. During the fight at Valley Forge, I was at the camp supporting all of the Continental soldiers. The next 5 years of the war were terrible, but I stuck by my husband's side and the Continental Army won the war. As a result of my husband's bravery, he became the first president of the United States. I started a tradition where I hold a public reception every single Friday. For 8 years, my husband was president. 2 years later, I was devastated yet again when my George died. Even though I mourned, I knew my husband would have been so proud of me for freeing almost all of our slaves. In my later years, I took care of my grandchildren and even outlived my 4 children. It was a very hard yet happy life. On May 22nd, 1802, I joined George in my heavenly home. Remember me.